Good evening and welcome to Cohen and Kerr. As part of our normal tradition, we have debates of the candidates for the Board of Supervisors races in Stafford County. We have had the Falmouth race, we've had the Acquire race. We were having planned to have the Garrisonville race, but unfortunately one of the candidates was not able to attend, so that we are doing a different format, which is we're having each of them on for a half an hour, and so they can present their views to you so that you know how you're voting. And so we have with us today, we have Mark Dudenhefer. And so joining me in asking questions for Mr. Dudenhefer will be Amanda Visano, who is with the Freelance Star. And so welcome, Amanda. We appreciate you being here and being so nice when I butcher your name. So we'll start. We'll just ask Mark if he has any opening statements or anything he'd like to say.
Well, thank you very much for asking me to come in. I've been on your show quite a few times, and it's always been enlightening. I think this group is very fair in how they deal with the questions, and I've always been pleased with it, even though sometimes I'm nervous as heck. So I'm not nervous today. But, you know, opening statements, just kind of an introduction to myself. I think I'm fairly well known across the county. I retired from the Marine Corps here in 2004 and ran for office for the first time in 2005. After retiring from the Marine Corps, 30 years. So served 6 years on the Stafford Board of Supervisors, 2 years of those consecutive to be the chairman, which was very unusual to do consecutive chairmanships like that. I was strong-armed in the running for the House of Delegates in a race that I won. I served there for 4 years, 2 different terms. You know, I could talk about just about any issue. In the House of Delegates, I was on Transportation Committee and also on the Education Committee. I've served on several statewide commissions, went on the Board of Supervisors. In addition to being the chairman, I was also the chairman of the Fredericksburg Area Metropolitan Planning Commission, the George Washington Regional Commission. I served on the VRE board. I served on in the jail, the Regional Jail Authority. So I've got a wide expanse of knowledge and experience in just about every aspect of local government. I love working in local government, which is why I'm back here.
Thank you. All right, Amanda, you can have the first question.
All right, we'll start with transportation. Congestion on I-95 and other main roads in the county is lengthening commute times and likely discouraging tourists and businesses. What is your plan for addressing transportation issues, and do you support establishing a regional transportation authority?
Well, thanks for the question. Transportation is the issue which got me involved in politics from the very beginning. The thing that you learn when dealing with transportation is how much money and how expensive it is and how long it takes to get things moving. So I was a strong advocate in 2006 when I first got on the board. We had our first bond referendum passed, which allowed us to actually participate for the first time as a local government. I've worked with the state and the VDOT and the CTV and a number of others with the company Transurban. And we're moving. They're already designing the part of the express lanes that'll go from where the Garrisonville Road terminus is now to the new bridge over the Rappahannock and down south. I think all of those improvements are going to improve the transit times and what we've done there. So we're making progress. I think calculating out now, we have well over $1 billion worth of road projects that are now either recently completed or will be completed over the next couple of years here in Stafford County. So it's an ongoing, constant, you have to constantly work on it every single step of the way. We need to make sure we get the northbound bridge over the Rappahannock River completed. That'll add a lot to it. But you hear mostly about I-95. I mean, we have congestion on our secondary roads, and many of them are old country roads that need to be fixed. So one of the things I'm planning on doing is back 12 years ago, we had what was called the Youth Driver Task Force. And they made recommendations. They also went in and looked at all the data available for tickets, accidents, deaths, injuries. They talked to school bus drivers, sheriff deputies. And we came up with a list of the top 12 projects or roads or intersections in the county that needed to be addressed. I think it's time for us to relook at all of that data again and not rely on what was current 10, 12 years ago. So planning on definitely doing that. I think safety on the roads is imperative. It should be the very first thing we look at, not incidental to whether it's congestion or whatever. So I think I have a really strong track record in that regard too. If you drive on Mountain View Road, north of Mountain View High School, you'll be on 2 miles of road that are wonderful compared to, if you compare them to what they used to be. So the expansion, the widening of 610 is something I worked on for quite a while in the late 2006-07 time frame. The widening of Courthouse Road is something I worked dramatically on along with Supervisor Cord Sterling, who was on the CTB at the time. So there's a lot of road projects, the Falmouth Interchange, the widening of 17, I'll probably forget some if I leave them out, but the Brook Road, the Poplar Road, I mean, all the different things that we've done, and those things that we've still got a bundle that are all getting ready to be done. So yes, what I want to do, that's one thing. I also put forward a bond referendum that now is basically expired as far as its mandate. I think it's important that as we move forward, we get a mandate from the public so that they have buy-in to us spending the money that it takes to get those things done. So I'm going to propose that we do another bond referendum and be as diligent as we were in the one that passed back, I think it was 2007, 2008, around there. So those are some things that I think are important to move forward.
Now we have about 2 minutes left in this one section, in this segment. The proffer law has changed from when you were on the Board of Supervisors to what it is now. And can you sort of speak about how we are going to have to deal with proffers now?
Hit a nerve, because that was something I fought very hard in the House of Delegates. The problem is that we're a Dillon state. The state has control over what we can do and how we can do it. And they have exerted their whip, so to speak. And what they've done is there's very few fast growth counties, and they don't have enough power to influence the law. So the law did change. It was very, I think it's abusive to fast growth counties like Stafford County. There were some changes. I was able to get to it, but not enough to make it go away. So we really need to do the max we can do under the present law. We need to work hard at trying to get them to turn around. I understand through some of my contacts that there is now a little softening of the attitude. So we'll go in the next legislative session and punch it really hard, trying to get the ability to have the developers pay more and to invest more in the infrastructure and the usage that they're creating with the homes.
All right. And this about ends our first segment, so we will ask you to come back after this break for more of our question and answers with Mark Dudenhefer, candidate for Board of Supervisors in Garrisonville.